got a 91 Seadoo Bombardier, single carb, 625. Having a lean popping issue no matter what the part throttle mixture screw is. I tried rebuilding this carburetor, stock gaskets and stuff like that was already in it, so that didn't seem to like that. So we'll put a full rebuild kit on it and let's get to it. Here's the carburetor fully disassembled. At least as far as I can get it without breaking the main screw jet. Still has the arm on it. So that's what we got. For your pulse pump head. So this is your pulse in, fuel out. Gasket first, and then the clear. And do not forget the little screen that goes here. Just sits down in there like that. For these valves, these clear plastic valves, here's one already done. Make sure that black piece on this side, sometimes you have to take a small flathead and you kind of just pry it up and go around it. But make sure you do not bend that piece of clear plastic on here, because this is a valve. See how I can pull this up and it's a valve. Okay, that's how that goes. Same with this side. So then they're opposite. So this piece of plastic is going to be on the other side of this. It's going to be over here. And make sure that this surface has nothing like this on it. Okay, see how I can scratch that off? That's not going to make your valve fully seal. So you cannot have any debris all along this anywhere. Sometimes you have to take a piece of Scotch-Brite. You gotta take that off. That's very important. So then when you put this on, it's gonna go like this, not like that. It's gonna go like that. So then you're gonna push down because they're opposite from each other. So that's how that works. You gotta be very careful with this piece of plastic. And make sure, do not put it in dry. Either spit on it or put some WD-40 on that piece of rubber so it actually goes in. And it's pretty hard, you have to force it in, but do not tear that or bend the piece of plastic or else you're screwed. So you have your pulse, which has your clear plastic in there, and your other gasket. And then you have a circle O-ring like this that goes up against, in between these two plates that go up against that gasket. And then you have, in this kit, I don't know why, but it included 3 gaskets for this. But if you look closely, this little reference mark right here, this outpass, only lines up with the one that fits. So these are bigger than this. See how that's a different size? Only use this one. These two do not matter. And as you can clearly see, this lines up with that one port right there. These other two do not. See how that's much bigger? It wouldn't hurt, but I'd rather just keep with what's right. So that goes like that. Then this will flip over, be put on this. And the reference mark for this is like that. So this whole thing will flip, and this pulse pump will stay right in the middle here. When you're putting the needle valve assembly in, make sure when you put the spring in, it's centered in that dimple, that detent. And also, take something flat, put it across the top, and make sure it is damn near perfect, that it is not pulling up or down on that. And it's pushing on. It's not pulling, see how there's a gap right here? You don't want it to where it's up and it's flush here. You want it to where it's, that spring is putting pressure on the needle valve, pushing it down, and this is perfectly flat here. See how it's not moving it, but you don't see any hardly thing through it. And if it's too much, and if it's pushing down on this, then you just bend this tab. Don't bend this side, bend this side. Until that's like that. All right, carburetor is fully reassembled. Time to go put it back on. All right, carburetor is back on. Throttle linkage is hooked up. Make sure you adjust your throttle so it sits on the stop, your idle screw, and it also goes full throttle and hits right there, right behind the idle screw, right there. And when you're doing something like this, it's always nice to take notes, even though I can't really see because this water line is blocking all of my instructions right here for all of these lines. So how this goes is, this is your pulse pump vacuum line that goes to right here on the block. Your bottom fuel line is your inlet, so from your gas tank. This is your fuel return, which is the top. And just write down different things, like your main jet for full throttle is right here. This is your fixed one, so it has a piece on it that you can't fully turn between the two locks. Some people break that off, some people don't. Mine's still on. Since I'm running premix, I blocked this off with a couple other lines. This is your part throttle mixture screw right here. Turning it in, more lean, turning it out, rich and zip. Stuff like that. Just got to put the rest of the intake manifold back on and should be ready to fire up.